Imagine that you lost one of your friends. You were out of your mind and decided to light some candles for him. When you were about to light the candle, a cop approached you and told you that you were going to get arrested for burning candles. Does that make any sense? How can a cop arrest someone for public grieving? Can you believe it? In this video, we're going to show you an arrest threat towards a man for public grieving. On September 19, 2022, 31-year-old Ryan Swaggerty Owens was sitting on a park bench in Kit County, Washington. He was burning candles for the loss of 26-year-old Celeste Williams, who had passed away earlier that day in a single car crash. At that time, Officer David Mora of the Longview Police Department approached him.
How you doing, sir? I definitely cannot. It's for my safety, okay? What do you got going on out here?
What does it look like?
You want to be a smart?
I mean, what's it look like?
You want to be a smart? It's called reckless burning. If you want to go that route, we can go ahead and push that route. Reckless burning, when you're burning something outside of an authorized area. You want to go that route? Do you really want to go that route? Do you really want to go that route? The light is for my safety. I don't know who you are. I don't know if you're a criminal who's going to try to pull a gun out on me or a knife or anything like that. That's what the light's for, okay? That's what they're there for. That's why they're put on patrol vehicles. What's your name?
My name's Rich Sean.
What's that?
1 second. I usually call you supervisor. And if this is bothering you, I'll put it out for you.
I'd appreciate that. That's what my contact. I was just going to ask you nicely to do that, but since you want to be a smart and ask me what does it look like and talk to me like I'm dumb, I'm obviously going to push the other route. If that's really how you want to go.
By Section 9A, 48040 of the Revised Code of Washington provides that, quote, a person is guilty of reckless burning in the first degree if he or she recklessly damages a building or other structure or any vehicle, railway, car, aircraft, or watercraft, or any hay grain, crop, or timber, whether cut or standing by, knowingly causing a fire or explosion. Also, under Section 948.06 of the Revised Code of Washington says, quote, a person is guilty of reckless burning in the second degree if he or she knowingly causes a fire or explosion, whether on his or her own property or that of another, and thereby recklessly places a building or other structure or any vehicle, railway, car, aircraft, or watercraft, or any hay grain, crop, or timber, whether cut or standing, in danger of destruction or damage. Here, in this case, Officer Mora claims that he was causing reckless burning. How can lighting a candle be classified as reckless burning? There is no damage resulting from burning the candles, and Mr. Swaggerty Owens' actions clearly did not constitute the first and second degree reckless burning.
George Salami, can I go ahead and get a second? Let me get your ID.
Why?
I already told you.
Why?
Reckless burning.
Okay, you want to put it out?
You can put it out, but first you're going to give me your ID.
Would you like me to put that out? If that's bothering you, you want me to put it out?
I'm telling you.
Okay, I'll put it out.
We're going to have to put it out, but let me get your ID.
I'll put this out. What's your name again?
Officer Mora. M-O-R-A. Make sure you spell it right, okay?
I don't need to spell that. I'll put these candles out since it's bothering this guy.
Do you have ID on you?
I do, but I don't need to give it to you.
Okay. Is that really the route you want to take, sir?
What route? I'm
obstruction.
Sitting on the bench.
Officer Mora asked Mr. Swaggerty Owens to show his ID, but he refused to hand over it. Washington State has not passed any stop and identify laws requiring individuals to identify themselves, and even if required, they only have to say their name. Here, Officer Mora claims that he is committing obstruction. According to Section 97620 of the Revised Code of Washington, quote, a person is guilty of obstructing a law enforcement officer if the person willfully hinders, delays, or obstructs any law enforcement officer in the discharge of his or her official powers or duties. In the 2007 case of State v. Williams, the Supreme Court of Washington overturned an individual's conviction for obstruction for giving officers the wrong name when they asked to identify himself. In this case, the Supreme Court explicitly determined conviction of obstruction. In the 2014 case of Washington v. Veer, quoting refusal to identify oneself to the police is insufficient to support a conviction for obstructing a law enforcement officer accordingly. Here, the court will likely conclude that Mr. Swaggerty Owens could not be arrested for refusing himself as obstruction.
Yeah, you're lighting candles.
I didn't light these candles.
And that's what I was asking you. And that was my question. But since you want to go right off, and start talking to me like I'm dumb, asking me what it looks like.
Look at the light. You can't blind me.
That's what police lights are for us to see. Look, here's my question, right? What if you're I'm not saying you are, but what if you're some individual who's trying to hurt anybody? Not just an officer, but anybody.
But I'm not.
I'm not saying you are, but I don't know that.
Okay. Well, now you know.
And that's what my lights are for. I still don't know that. I really don't.
Okay.
So you really want to be this difficult, sir?
There ain't nothing about being difficult. I ain't doing nothing wrong. Sitting on the bench.
Okay.
Turn your light off quickly.
I'm not turning off my light.
Okay, well, I don't know what to tell you. You want to be rude? I'm going to be rude.
How am I being rude? Because I told you.
Light in my eyes.
Hey, you need to relax.
No,
okay?
I don't need to relax.
Okay, then amp yourself up then. If that's the route you want to go.
With me, you can go ahead and head back to your vehicle.
I'm not going to head back to my vehicle until you're identified.
Don't come over here pressing wait on me. Call your supervisor.
I got somebody else coming out. Don't worry.
Tell them to pull up. I'm on.
You asked me to turn off the lights. I said I can. They're on for my safety.
I got a camera too.
Perfect.
Okay.
By all means.
Awesome. That's out. You want this lighter? That's not mine either. You want it? You can have it.
I don't care about the lighter.
Throw away this trash. That's not mine either.
I'm not saying it is.
Okay. Well, have some condolences for somebody. Yeah. Forget about that one, huh?
Do you feel tougher now by talking like that? Do you feel like you're this big bad guy or this big bad by talking like that?
I am a bad actually.
Okay.
But that ain't got nothing to do with what we talking about.
Officer Mora calls for backup, and another officer who appears to have had previous contact with Mr. Swaggerty Owens arrives on the scene and approaches Officer Mora and Mr. Owens.
Camera.
Are you causing trouble? What's going on?
Yeah, I'm just sitting here with the candles. This dude came up, had a problem with me. He came up pressing real hard, so I turned on my camera to protect him, and I told him to call for backup.
Did you know Katrina?
Huh?
Did you know Katrina?
I know everybody.
Oh, I don't know that.
You know what his name is?
I forget. Sorry, I guess
It's fine.
our contacts haven't been too bad.
Yeah. I mean, there's no need for my name. I'm just sitting on the bench. Not bothering nobody. I pay my taxes. My house is right down there. But I'm not doing anything wrong. I'm just sitting on the bench. You came over here pressing me with the light.
I came over here to turn on my light for my safety, okay? If you have a problem with it, that's too bad.
I just told you I did. You came over here pressing me with the light.
How do I press you with the light?
I can't see you. Do I got sunglasses on? No, I don't think so.
I mean, I hope not.
So, you can run your headlights. You can do all that, but you say you want to push your little light bar. You want me to go get my light bar?
That's for our safety. There's no reason to hassle over
You got
that.
your light bar on?
Well, I turned it off because I didn't want to blind you guys. But
Thank you. That's common sense.
well, I could see you wanting to pay your respects to Katrina. That's pretty awful.
I mean, yeah. So, I mean, y'all can go about your way. I'm not doing anything wrong.
Well,
This ain't my lighter. You want the lighter? Take the lighter. If you feel like those candles are bothering you, take the candles.
weren't they lit?
The only thing in mind, because you made me put them out.
I simply asked him, what do you
No.
He wants to be smart.
I'm not gonna argue with you.
What does it look like? So,
I'm not going to argue with you. I'm not here to argue with you today. You want to argue with me? Come to my house tomorrow. I'm not going to argue with
Are
you.
you living on 24?
Yeah.
Yeah.
nobody's trying to argue with you.
Well, what's the plan here?
I'm going to sit right here. Like I said, if you want the candles, if you want this lighter, if you
I
want
don't
this
need to
bag.
take anything. I simply asked
I mean, this is trash. You can go throw it away if you'd like to. You don't have to. I'll throw it away on my way out. But I'm not going anywhere.
I'm not asking you to leave.
All right. Well, then there's no issue. There's nothing.
I was simply asking what you were doing out here. It's a
What's
counselor,
it look
right?
like I'm doing out here? What would you be doing out here if your friend died? What would you be doing
I
out
don't
here?
know who your friend is. I don't know about
Why
that.
everybody's friend?
Okay, well,
So
I
now
don't know
you're
about
acting
that.
stupid. I'm a human being just like you.
Okay.
So you want to write me a ticket? Cool.
I'm not writing you a ticket.
Well, then get
I was
out of
simply
here,
trying to
bro. I'm
identify
not dealing with you.
In the 2004 case of Heel versus 6 Judicial District Court of Nevada, Humboldt County, quote, a police officer is free to ask a person for identification without implicating the Fourth Amendment and, quote, interrogation relating to one's identity or a request for identification by the police does not by itself constitute a Fourth Amendment seizure. In general, officers can quote or unquote seize a citizen within the meaning of the Fourth Amendment through the use of physical force or by a show of authority. Now, Officer Mora informs Mr. Swaggerty Owens that he does not intend to write him a ticket and says that he's still trying to identify him.
I'm not dealing with you. You already done pissed me off.
Okay.
You already took it too far. You still want to turn off the light?
I'm not going to turn off my
All right then. I don't want to hear it. If you ain't got nothing to say to me, I ain't got nothing to say to you. And that's how that goes.
Just by pulling up his contacts.
Okay. Sorry for your loss.
Have a good day.
You too.
This body camera footage went viral, and on October 14, 2022, the Longview Police Department released a statement on its Facebook account that read, quote, "We understand there's a video circulating that has caused anger and disappointment. All Longview police officers are expected to discharge their duties with honor and integrity. The Longview Police Department is conducting a review of the incident and behavior of the officer involved on October 19, 2002. Officer David Mora was later detained for his unacceptable behavior.